Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So, today I wanted to have a review and thoughts discussion about the RWBY Volume 6 Adam character short. So, this is how I'm going to do this for the reviews. So, I'm going to post one image up for each of the reviews of the chapters or character shorts in the future, and so how that will help out is that will allow me to focus more on what I'm trying to tell you. Now, that'll be different on my other videos. I will have more images, obviously, in them, but when it comes to the reviews and things of this sort, I'm just going to put up one image for each of the reviews so that I can focus solely upon trying to really review it and get my thoughts out there and express them. So hopefully that's not an issue when it comes to the reviews or the character shorts. Now, I may change that in the future. Just let me know what you think down below about that. Hopefully, it's not so much of an issue. But anyways, so getting into the Adam character short. Now, what this is this short is really about Adam's start, and it really shows him transition from really being more good in the beginning, I guess you could say, to more of the person he is now. So really having that more sadistic personality that we know Adam for. And I think the one big thing that a lot of people were surprised about was Adam actually didn't have his mask on in the beginning. Of course, you don't see anything, but, you know, he doesn't actually have his mask on in the very beginning of this. And what is actually kind of funny, because there's a few things I'm going to point out here. But the first thing is, if you look at it, you see a sign where all those other faunists were going to break into the dust factory. The funny thing is you see the sign saying, if you see any suspicious activity, report it immediately. And I thought that was kind of funny because you just see these faunists, you know, kind of walking around kind of with bandanas over their face, and you know, no, that doesn't look suspicious at all. They're trying to break into a dust factory. No, that's not strange. No, and then of course the big thing is you see Adam walk up when these faunists are kind of hesitant to actually breaking into the dust factory. And here's the thing about when Adam walks up. Does anybody get that vibe of a superhero movie when he's walking up with the music? Because it felt like something of the Avengers or something like that. I don't know. It was just the music at that moment really felt like a superhero theme. And it was just kind of funny to me. I don't know if anybody else noticed that. But of course, Adam then makes the statement that they should take from the people who had basically been treating them like animals. That they had been beaten and murdered, and that basically taking this dust is not illegal in the eyes of those who treated them that way. Now, of course, this shows you that, yes, the humans have been racist towards the faunists, and it shows that this is obviously a big conflict that the faunists have been going through, and it kind of touches on it a little bit more, and that's not so bad. It's kind of good to see a bit more of this being touched on for the faunists. And to see Adam, his character's obviously got that leadership role going on. He has definitely been a born leader, and that's the kind of person that Adam is. And it shows you the selflessness of him to try to help others and try to really benefit the faunists. He actually was thinking of them. He put them first. And that's a good thing to see who he once was. Now, looking at it entirely, though, keep in mind the statement he says before it goes to the next scene. He said, it's time for us to take back what we deserve. Now, remember that statement because I'm going to come back to it. Now, the next big part is when they're actually going through an area trying to get through there. Of course, Gira is trying to be someone to actually be passive. He's trying to say, hey, we're not going to hurt you. Just let us go through. And obviously the humans are like, oh, no, you've passed through the wrong town, animals. Like, oh, well, that's really nice to just call them animals, you know? They're just trying to be nice, and then you treat them just terribly. Yeah, that's how you treat everyone. Just go off and treat everybody awful. So it does kind of show you the idea that they don't care. There are some humans who really hate the faunists and just do not care about them. And of course, they shoot at Gira, they hit him, and you see his aura, you know, kind of flicker there. And then this leads on to Adam jumping out and attacking. Now, there's a big thing about Adam in the scene of him actually attacking, and I'm going to say this too. I don't know, did anybody get some Star Wars vibes? Because, now, this is going to lead on to Adam's semblance, because what he was doing when he was collecting the bullets when everybody was shooting at him, that was obviously for his semblance. Moon Slice. And yeah, of course, you see where that went. But it's just funny because it just looks like Adam is a Sith Lord, and he's just taking those bullets that people are shooting at him and just, instead of deflecting them, well, absorbing them actually. But it's just kind of funny. It just made me think of the Star Wars reference. And there's another one I really want to throw out there in just a bit. But this animation wasn't too bad. Seeing Adam take out everyone that he was fighting, the animation was pretty good. I actually didn't have a problem with this, and I'm thankful that it was not the Battle of Haven kind of animation, because let's be real, I don't think any of us want to see it ever be that bad ever again. And this definitely felt like a step up from it, and I hope that throughout the rest of Volume 6 it continues to be better like this was. And there were a few of the slow-mo edits, and for the Sienna Khan parts, that wasn't so bad, and I'll get to that soon. But overall, this animation seemed pretty good, and I'm not really complaining that much about it. I mean, yeah, it is still not the pacing of what Monty had. It's not that speed level, but it feels better than what Volume 5 did, and I think that's a good thing, really. And I really hope that this continues to improve. I hope this continues to get better, and this was not really that bad. It actually was pretty good. It was pretty entertaining. And now, the thing I want to look at too here is when Adam is fighting, obviously, remember and keep this in mind, the part where Adam actually puts his foot on that guy's chest to keep him pinned down. Keep that part in mind, because I'm going to bring that up again, because that's a big important part. But when we see Moonslice happen and it kills that guy that was actually running at the White Fang, this is an important part, because I like this for a few reasons. One, and this is a big one, the guy's eyes white out. I actually like seeing his eyes actually white out there, signifying that this killed him. And this is why this is important to Adam's character, because this is the first action we see him actually kill somebody. Now, of course, Gira, when he comes up and says that wasn't necessary and this is why the humans fear us, this is a big important part when it comes to Adam. And Sienna obviously steps up and defends Adam and says that what he did was right, that he saved Gira's life, and he really did do the right thing when you think about it. He did try to defend everybody, and that's not wrong. It's not bad that he tried to defend the Faunus from the humans' attacks. Killing that guy, though, is a big part of Adam's character, because what this does and what this meant for Adam was this was really first blood for Adam that we know of, that we've ever seen. And here's the thing about this. Everybody praises him for it. Everybody gives him praise, and it's different because before this moment that we know of, he had not killed anybody. This may have been the very first action he had to kill someone, and that can change an individual. And for Adam, I think this was his turning point. I think this is what changed his character. But let's take a look at Sienna Khan and Gira real fast. Now, the reason why I bring them up is because the next scene kind of shows you the issues between Gira and Sienna. This is where it may have actually started, because Gira was being more the voice of reason, or at least trying to be, but that obviously wasn't enough for the humans to listen to him. And Sienna Khan, if you know her character, she only has violence when necessary. It's not like she has violence just because she wants to. She does it whenever it needs to happen to actually have progress for the Faunus. And obviously this really shows that there was a difference between the two of them, which obviously leads into Sienna taking control of the White Fang as time progresses. And if you think about it, this trailer had a lot of Sienna, because when she was introduced, people loved her character, they loved her design, and they loved the idea of her being a tiger Faunus, and then for her to just die immediately as she's introduced, with only having about 5 minutes of screen time. People were very upset about this, so giving her more depth, I think, is a good thing. But, just when they killed her, I just think that was too abrupt. I think that was way too soon, when they could have done a bit more with her. But I'll get into that a little more. Now, the next scene had to do with Adam and Blake, and was that one a big one? Because there is a lot I have to say about this one, and I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but it's the way Adam talks in this that is something that really stands out to me, as well as what he says, because there is a pretty big point here, and Blake obviously is stating that, hey, Adam, I'm not really comfortable with the casualties you're leading on at this point, because apparently he's been leading some problems with the casualties and probably death counts with what's going on here. And Adam's saying that, well, with our cause, there's going to be casualties, there's going to be bad things that are going to happen, and it's not that I'm trying to make this happen, but sometimes when you're trying to do what's right, casualties may actually occur. Now, the thing that Adam says, though, when he's trying to defend himself to Blake is whenever he says that, do you want me to just abandon our cause, like your parents? And that's a low blow on Adam's part, and you can tell that that affected Blake because she was very hesitant towards him, and obviously she believes in the right thing. She believes that the White Fang are the right thing, but she just believes that how this is going about is wrong. And Adam says that he's sorry, that he shouldn't have brought up her parents, but there are times to where he just feels that Blake is someone that he may be losing. And the way he puts this, it's pretty manipulative. It sounds like a manipulative thing to say, especially after she says that that's not what she meant. Then what Adam says, and with the look on his face, definitely has red flags going for it, because he says, I'm glad I still have you, Blake. But the way that he says it is in a way that sounds like it would be able to reel someone in. It'd be like the way of a manipulator. It would be like a soft, calm tone, one that could subdue anyone just by what they say, could make them follow them forever to the ends of the earth. It would be like, oh yes, you have such brilliant abilities, and they would go to waste if you didn't join me. It would be something to the effect that would be able to lure someone in. And you can definitely tell that it's a manipulative way that Adam is going about it. And it just shows how he's really changed. This is another part of showing his progression to changing from who he once was. Now, when we look at the next part is actually another part of his transition of changing, was when him, Sienna, and Ilya, as well as other White Fang members, infiltrate the Schnee Dust Company. And, of course, I like the fact that they brought the Elysian bots again. They brought them back, the ones from the old trailer. It felt good to see them again. It was a good old throwback. And the thing here that we see is Sienna Khan really gets to be thrown in there more, which was good for her character, and we got to see her weapon. Now, some people are a bit confused on what this weapon is, but this weapon is a kunai with chains. Now, this chain obviously holds the kunai in the holster at the end of it, which allows it to be launched. And within the kunai itself, there's actually parts where dust can be put into it. Now, some people have thought that with what Sienna could do with the kunai, about whenever it was able to stab into the Elysian bot and then explode, some people thought that was her semblance, but if you pay very close attention, if you slow down the video, you can see that the fire dust that was in the kunai actually explodes, which destroys the bot. So pay very close attention to that if you didn't notice that the first time around, and you'll see that it's actually the fire dust exploding. So it is not Sienna's semblance, it is just the dust exploding. So we see this pretty good fight that's between all of them. And I think this was the best animated part, was whenever they were actually fighting in the Schnee Dust Company. And that was really good. I liked the animation to this. I really liked the pacing. It was pretty good. I felt like it was better than when Adam was solo fighting all of those people that were against the Faunus. I really thought it was a lot better than that one. And I did like to see the team up with Adam, Sienna, and Ilya. Now, that was actually a decent team-up. I actually thought it was pretty good. I thought it was enjoyable to watch them fight, and I thought it was pretty nice. It was good to actually see Sienna Khan and how she actually fought. I did enjoy that one myself because, well, let's be real. Volume 5, she died within just moments of her being brought in, so we didn't get to see anything from her. So it was good to really see her actually do something, to do a little bit of fighting. And the big part to take away from this one is when Adam actually was fighting the security, and whenever he was about to actually kill one of them. You could tell by this point in time he had definitely changed from who he was at the beginning of this trailer, and I think that the first kill that he had was what really changed him, and it got to the point where he almost killed the security if Sienna did not tell him to come with her. He would have definitely stabbed that security guard, you can tell, and it's interesting to see how this was played out, because if you look at what was going on there, Adam doesn't care if he kills anyone anymore. It's just a thought of, I'll just kill this person and move along. If you pay attention, it's different from when Adam held that guy down with his foot when he had him pinned down. It's much different in that moment. He didn't have the idea of killing that guy. So, when you think about it, Adam did change. He changed to someone that was more sadistic, someone who didn't care if he killed anybody or not. So you can definitely tell the change from the beginning of the trailer to whenever they were just trying to cross and all those people were trying to attack the White Fang, to the point where he at this point doesn't care about killing people anymore. So you see his character very well change in this period of time. And like I said, I think this goes back to the first kill we saw him get, which was on that guy that was against the Faunus, that was racist against them. I think it actually falls on that guy that he killed, and then from there on out, it just continued to get worse over time. Adam continued to have these casualties occur, and that's because he just learned to not even care. And that he started to enjoy the feeling of murder, because that's the way it seems now. He seems like somebody who doesn't tend to care, and it goes back to Volume 3 when he had one guy pinned down. You know, when you think about it, he had the intent of killing the guy. He even had Blake down, and he stabbed her too. You think about this, he doesn't care whether he kills people or not anymore. And obviously when he killed Sienna Khan, that was another point showing how far he had changed from who he once was. This shows you that Adam will kill anyone that gets in his way, that he is not who he once was. He is not the guy that he originally was in the beginning of this trailer, that he has changed ever since his first kill, and that he has continued to do so because it's something that piques his interest. It's something that he enjoys to do, that he likes to kill things, and that's just how he is. He likes to kill other individuals. And the next scene that has to do with Adam, speaking of that, and it has to do with Sienna as well, which is a very important scene, is where Sienna Khan tells Adam that he is to go to Vale to take control of the Brotherhood there. And she said that if he follows along the path that he's going, then he could end up by her side at the throne. And I don't know if anybody else felt this way, but I kind of felt like this was another Star Wars homage, like Sienna Khan was Emperor Palpatine, and, you know, Adam was Darth Vader at this point. It's kind of like, yes, you will go to Vale, to the Brotherhood, and you will take command. Then, if you continue along the path, you shall join my side. You know, it really felt like that to me. I'm sorry, it's just the music, the way it was said, Adam was bowing to Sienna Khan. It made me feel like a Star Wars scene there. I was kind of like, oh man, this is actually kind of like Star Wars with Emperor Palpatine. Oh, I've probably just created so many memes. Now we're all going to see Sienna Khan as the Emperor. Oh boy, here we go. But anyways, the thing is here is this really shows that Adam really changed, because he said he was doing everything for the Faunus at this point. That was the whole part of what he was saying, and you could tell he was still following Sienna Khan at this point, but his success in Vale must have changed his mindset. And then you obviously see that once this happens, once he is the leader, because it transitions once he leaves to the White Fang members of the present time coming up to him and saying that their attack on Haven isn't going to be as easy as they had thought, and then Adam says that he's finally going to get what he deserves. Now, if you think about this, This tells you Adam is about himself now. It's all about what he wants and not what the Faunus wants. He went from being someone to think of others, to be selfless, to try to help the Faunus, to now think of himself and what is about him. What can things be done for him? What he deserves to get. Not what the Faunus deserve, not what they should get, but more so what he should get. So it shows you his complete drastic change from who he once was, and Sienna Khan really fostered this. And the statement she made was, if you fall along the path that you're going, then you may just end up standing right next to me on my throne. Now, considering that she says this, that she tells Adam that if he keeps going down this path, that he will end up standing right next to her throne, that really shows you that it continued to help create the monster Adam became, and that he is not the person he once was. And obviously seeing him kill her in Volume 5, as well as be as bad as he's been, it shows you that he's become who he's become, and it just shows you this change. It shows you how drastically Adam has changed as a person, and that he doesn't have that moral compass he did in the beginning. And Sienna Khan kinda, like I said, she just helped this. She helped move this along to who Adam became. She helped create the monster that he is now. And what I have to say about this is my thoughts. I think that this should have happened before Sienna Khan's death, personally. I think that this would have been better implemented within Volume 5, rather than having to be the short. And although it is a pretty good short, the thing is, it really just needed to be before this point in time. It really needed to be put in before Sienna Khan's death, because the death could have weighed more. It could have been a heavier one. And, of course, also letting Sienna Khan do a bit more, would have been a better thing. And it did show us a little bit of Ilya. So it shows that she definitely agreed with Sienna Khan's point of view, or at least learned to agree with what she thought. And she was conflicted, especially after Adam's reign, after his takeover. And she knew what Adam was doing was not the best, because it obviously proves, otherwise she would not have been a conflicted individual. It's like Blake. Blake was conflicted by what Adam was doing, as well as the other White Fang members, and she left because she knew it was wrong. And this shows you how the White Fang themselves even changed by their role of leadership. They obviously became more violent due to Sienna Khan's control, due to her takeover, and then of course Adam's control over the Brotherhood in Vale only led on to more violence. It led on to more pain, and it led on to more misery for the Faunus because of this violent streak in this road that they decided to take. And it really gave the Faunus more of a bad name for themselves than a good one, because they were the instrument of helping destroy Beacon, when you think about it. And that does not put a good light on any of the Faunus, whether they are obviously White Fang members or just Faunus in general that are not a part of the White Fang. So it really put a bad message onto them within the eyes of the humans. And it shows you that with power can come great responsibility, but if the power is taken within a wrong way, that it can lead to injustice rather than being justified, rather than being something that was actually supposed to be for justice. It made things worse in the overall end. And it shows you that at the end of this trailer, Adam takes off his mask and he walks away. Now, this will obviously show us that Adam is going to be something in this volume. He will probably be the final boss or second to final boss, since we are going to have a Mantor Grimm thrown into this volume as well. And to be honest, I really just hope that Adam doesn't get a huge amount of light in this arc, considering I really would rather this be his end, if that makes sense. I think it's about time to wrap up Adam's character, considering we now pretty much know everything about him. At this point, I think that this has finally come to his actual end. But anyways, let me know what you think down below. Did you enjoy Adam's character short? Did you not like it? Let me know what you think down below. But anyways, I'll be back again on Tuesday. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. And if you did enjoy, hit the video with a like, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and share this with your friends if you found this informative or useful. Well, anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow could always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you, and have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.